Hi students, let us start your physics syllabus. The first year physics syllabus contains four chapters. The first chapter is conservation laws. The second one is gravitations. In that one more is that rigid body dynamics. These two includes second chapters. The third one is elasticity, and the fourth one is a theory of relativity. So these are the chapters. So included in your physics first year, first semester syllabus. Okay. So here, the the allotted syllabus or the allotted chapters to me is here. It is first one, that is conservation laws. So in conservation laws chapters, it contains law of conservation of linear momentum and what is center of mass, frames of references, collision processes. Next, law of conservation of linear momentum in case of variable mass, and necessity of a multi-stage rocket. Next, you are having a work and power concept, angular momentum, torque, and law of conservation of angular momentum. And another important concept is law of conservation of what is energy and work energy theorems. So these are the concepts situated in your first chapters. Okay. So let us start your actual syllabus. The first part existing in your syllabus is the law of conservation of linear momentum and expression for a center of mass, velocity of center of mass, and the position vector, velocity, and accelerations of force of center of mass. So these things we will discuss in the first session. Is what it is. Law of conservation of linear momentum statement. How that linear momentum remains constant. What is the statement of your conservation of linear momentum? Next, center of mass, expression for position vector, velocity, acceleration, and force of center of mass. So all these things we will discuss in this session. Okay. So we know that already you have learned in your previous class. So what is the meaning of momentum? So how we are measuring this momentum? So this one is you are observing in your daily life. That is, it is difficult to stop a fast-moving cricket ball rather than to stop a slower moving object, slower moving ball. So in order to stop that faster moving object, so you need to apply what? A large force as compared to what? A slower one is. So similarly, whenever that motor car or any truck collides with the cycle or bike, in such cases, the effect on cycle or what a bike is more than that of your what car or truck. So here, the amount of motion or is what? The quantity of a motion in a body is depends on what factors? What is the amount of motion or the quantity of motion possessed by an object depends on the velocity of the object and as well as its what? The mass of that moving body is. Okay. So, so here the amount of motion, the quantity of motion possessed by the body is termed as one quantity called it as what? A momentum. What it is? Whatever the quantity of motion or the amount of motion possessed by that object is there is termed as a, which one it is? A momentum. Okay. So therefore, the momentum of a body is defined as what? So it is the total quantity of what? A motion possessed by an object and is measured as the what? Product of mass and velocity of a what? A moving a body. What it is? The momentum of a body is defined as what? The total quantity of motion, the total amount of motion possessed by an object or possessed by it, and it is measured as the what? The product of mass of the body and velocity of the moving object is. Okay. Suppose if m is mass of the object and v is its velocity, then the linear momentum or simply is what? The momentum of that object is designated by a symbol of what? P is equals to what? M into V. So here I have taken small m is the what? The mass of that your object and V is its what? Velocities. Okay, so therefore the momentum is specified by the what? P measured as the what? The product of mass into what is a velocity. And its SI unit is kg meter per second. Okay. Next, you are having another important one is what? It is a conservation. So here the conservation means what? Something remains constant. Some physical quantity remains is what? A constant. So let's see here. So which one remains constant in this concept? And already you have learned that a vector is nothing but what? A quantity. So which is having both magnitude and directions are called as what? Vectors. Next, and velocity is nothing but what? The rate of change of displacement is nothing but your what? Velocity. And the acceleration what? The rate of change of velocity is nothing but our what is accelerations. And force is nothing but what? Push or pull is called as what? Force. So these things, the basic things already you have learned in your what? Previous classes. Okay. Now, let us state the law of conservation of your what? A linear momentum. What is the statement for your what? Conservation of a linear momentum. So in order to explain that law of conservation of linear momentum, let us consider two particles. What it is? Consider two particles in an what? Isolated system. So these two particles interact with each other and no external force is acting on the system. So inside that system, so those two particles what? Interact with each other and there is no external force acting on that what? A system. In such cases, what happens on that system? In such case, the momentum of the system will remain constant. The momentum of what? System will remain constant, but the momentum of each particles may change. The momentum of what? Each particle may change due to interaction. So whatever that in a momentum is there, so they get what? A changes the moment. So that the vector change in momentum of one particles in any interval of time. What it is? The vector change in momentum of what? One particle in any interval of time is equal in magnitude and opposite in directions to vector change in its momentum of the what? Other particle. That means whatever the change in momentum of the in one particle is taking place, the same amount of what? The momentum is caused in the other particles, okay, which are in what? Equal in magnitude, but in what? Opposite directions, so that the total momentum of the system remains constant in the absence of what? External forces. So therefore, the net change in momentum of the system is zero in the absence of what? External force acting on that system. So the exact statement of your law of conservation of linear momentum is the vector sum of the linear momentum of all the particles in an isolated system remains constant. What it is? The vector sum of the linear momentum of all the particles in an isolated system remains constant in the absence of what is? Any external forces. Or you can say that in reverse way, in the absence of any external force, the vector sum of the linear momentum of what? All the particles in an isolated system remains constant. So that's the statement of the what? Law of conservation of linear momentum. Or you can say it in another way, the momentum neither be created nor be destroyed. That is, if two bodies collides one another, what is? If two bodies collides one another, the momentum before collision, whenever two bodies collides with each other, the momentum before collision is equals to the what? Momentum after collision, so that the total momentum remains constant. Okay, so this is the statement of your what? Law of conservation of linear momentum. Okay, now let us illustrate how that linear momentum remains constant, say, in an object. So for that, let us write here, I have written what? P is equals to capital M into VCM. So if M is the total mass of that system and V is what? The velocity of center of mass. So here, what is velocity of center of mass? And before that velocity of center of mass, you should know what is the meaning of center of mass. Whenever a system consisting of what? A large number of particles, in such cases, it is difficult to specify the velocity of the what? Individual particles. So for that purpose, so we are considering an what? One point in that system. So that point we are calling it called center of mass. So the center of mass of a what? System of particle is defined as the point at which the entire mass of that particle is what? A concentrated is called as what? Center of mass of that system. And the velocity of that center, then that velocity, VC, then velocity of center of mass of that particle, velocity of that point means the center of mass of that system is nothing but what? Velocity of center of mass. Okay, so I will show you in the next picture. So there you are having what? A clear meaning regarding that what? Velocity of center of mass. So here P is equals to M into VCM. Capital M is the what? Velocity, this mass of the system, and VCM is the what? The velocity of center of mass. So therefore, so dP by dt is equals to what? Capital M into dVCM divided by dt, and the change in velocity with respect to time is nothing but what? The rate of change of velocity is called as accelerations. So you will get what? M into ACM. But M into A is nothing but what? F, the force. So therefore, F external is equals to you got what? dP divided by dt. So in a statement, what you have said, in the absence of any external force, the total linear momentum of the system remains constant. If external equals to what? 0, then the dP by dt is equals to what? 0. There is no change in your what? Momentum. Whenever there is no external force acting on that system, that means what? Your momentum remains constant. T is equals to what? A constant. So that is the meaning of your first is what? Law of conservation of linear momentum. Okay. So next, so once you know you understood the meaning of law of conservation of momentum, the same thing. So whatever that I have written in the above, if the system consisting of a single particles, so there is also an what? M is the mass of the single system, the single particle. So then you are getting what? F is equals to dP by dt. So here P is nothing but mass into your velocity. Okay, dP by dt. So this, if F equals to 0, then dP by dt equals 0, so then P equals to constant. So whenever you are having what? A single particle. Now, let us illustrate this statement in your what? Which one? The system consisting of what? Uh, any number of particles. Any number of particles. If P1, P2, P3, and so on up to what? Pn are the what? The linear momentum of what? The particles in an even what? A system consisting of what? N number of particles. What I am saying is, if the system, consider a system consisting of what? N number of particles. You have chosen the system contains in what? A N number of particles. So that M1, M2, and M3 and so on what? Mn be the masses of the what? Particles. And the corresponding velocities of these particles are specified by, are assigned by V1, V2 and V3 up to what? Vn are their velocities. Okay. So that the total momentum of the system is given by it is what? P is equals to P1 plus P2 plus P3 up to what? Fpn. These are the what? The momentum of n particles. So that total momentum becomes what? This one. So therefore, dP by dt is equals to what? dP1 by dt plus dP2 by dt plus of what? dP3 by dt up to what? dPn by what? At dt. And then, so you are getting what? F1 plus dP by dt is total force. You will get it. So this one is F1 plus F2 up to what? Fn. So this F external is equals to this one is nothing but dP by dt. F external is equals to what? dP by dt. If F external is equals to 0, then dP by dt is equals to what it is? 0. It is what it is. If F external is equals to what? dP by dt. So here dP by dt is nothing but you can put it like this. This one is also dP1 dP d by dt into bracket P1 plus P2 plus P3 up to what? Up to N is. Okay. If F external is equals to this is what I have told it is dP1 d by dt into bracket what? P1 plus P2 plus P3 and so on. If X external is equals to 0, then this your dP by d by dt of what? P1 plus P2 up to what? Pn, close that bracket, that's equals to what? 0. So this becomes 0 only when that you were what? P1 plus P2 plus P3. So on what? Pn is equals to what is a constant. So this is the again illustration of your law of conservation of linear momentum in case of an what? System consisting of n number of particles. Okay. Suppose if you can write it in one more. Suppose if the system is having an what? Only two particles. So in that case, you are getting what? The same thing. It is what? If the system consisting of what? Two particles. This is single particles. So that's n number of particles. Suppose if you are having two particles. Consider a system of two particles which are acted only by what? Interaction force. Those two particles are what? Acted by what? Interaction forces. Let us say that let F12 be the force exerted. It is what? F12 be the force exerted by the exerted on the first particle. On the first particle by the second particles. Then according to the Newton's third law of motion, the force F21, you can put it what? F21 exerted on the second particle by the first will be equal in magnitude but opposite in directions. That's why you can put it like this. F21 equals to what? Minus of F12. So in other words, the rate of change of linear momentum of your first particles, the P1 of the first particle is equal to what? The rate of change of your second particles. That's why. So whatever this equation is there, this is what? The total momentum dp by of that system, dp by dt is equal to what? Here is what? dp1 divided by dt, dp1 divided by what? dt plus this is equals to what? Minus of dp by dt is there. So now what is this? P1 is F21, F21 is equals to what? Minus of minus of what? F12. This is dp1 divided by dt, that's equals to what? Minus of dp2 divided by what? Dt. So that's why we're getting what? dp1 by dt plus of what? dp2 by dt. So when the system consisting of what? Two particles. Okay. So when you combine this one, so you will get it what? dp1 by dt plus of what? dp2 by what? Dt. Okay. D by dt into what? P1 plus P2 equals to what it is? 0. So here, this d by dt of what? D by dt into what? P1 plus P2 close that bracket equals to 0 when that P1 plus P2 equals to what it is? Constant. So that's P1 plus P2 represents what? The total linear momentum of the system of two particles. Okay. So this is the what? Your again law of conservation of linear momentum in case of what? A system consisting of two particles. Okay. Next, let us discuss definition of center of mass. So already I have mentioned that in the beginning itself, while while defining your P is equals to capital M into what? M into VCM. There, whenever the system consisting of what? N number of particles, in such cases, it is difficult to specify the motion of what? Individual particles. So due to this one, or in this case, the center of mass of the system is the center of mass of what? A system of particle is used. At what time? When the system is having what? N number of particles. In that case, it is difficult to specify the motion of the particle. For that purpose, so you are considering, we are taking what? The center of mass of system of a particle is used. Okay. So therefore, the center of mass. So see here, center of mass is nothing but is the point at which the entire mass of all the particles is what? Concentrated. The entire mass of all the particles what? Is concentrated. So that point we are calling it by what is center of mass. So see here. So here, this is a system consisting of what is? Two particles, and this is a fixed point. So from that fixed point, so from that point we are measuring the what? The variables that are existing in this system. So this system is having two particles having masses M1 and M2. And here, this point is nothing but what the center of mass of these two systems. Is what the center of mass of this system, and R1 and R2 are the distances of these two particles from the fixed point O, where you are what measuring these variables, fixed variables is the inertial frame of references. Okay. Next, okay, R1 and R2, the positional vector of your particle M1 and M2, and RCM is not the positional vector of your what? Center of mass of this system. The positional vector of what? Mass of this system is. Okay. Suppose how to write this the positional vector of the center of mass of the system. Now let us write this one. We can put it directly. It's no problem. The positional vector of the center of mass of the system is specified by what is RCM is equals to M1 R1 plus is what M2 R2 divided by M1 plus M2. So instead of writing this M1 plus M2, you can put capital M. So where that capital M indicates what the total mass of this entire system is. Okay. So therefore, so here the position vector of your center of mass of this system is given by RCM. Suppose if you are having a number of particles, in such cases you can put it like this: M RCM, that's capital M, into RCM is equals to summation of K equals to 1 to what? N MK RK. So when you make it cross multiplications, it becomes what? RCM is equals to summation of K equals to 1 to what? N MK VK divided by what? Capital M. So therefore, this is the what? The positional vector of the center of mass of that system, consisting of what? N number of particles. Suppose if you are having only two particles inside that system, then RCM is equals to M1 R1 plus of what? M2 R2 divided by a capital M is. Okay. So this is the expression for what? The positional vector of the what? System of two particles. The positional vector of what? System of two particles consisting of what? Two particles. Okay. So once you know this relations, you can write what is its velocity. So by using this one, you can write its velocities. So we know that velocity is nothing but what? The change in displacement. So that's RCM is given by, this one is RCM is equals to, here you are having RCM is equals to summation of K equals to 1 to M, MK VK divided by capital M. So when you differentiate this one with respect to T, this is dRCM divided by dt equals to summation of K equals to 1 to N. This is MK and VK. This is what this one, this is not VK, this is RK. This one, we did mistake, this is what? Because here you are having MK, RK. When you differentiate this one, this becomes what? dRK divided by dt. Now it becomes what is VK. Okay, so here it becomes what? Instead of VK, so you want to write what is RK, MK, RK divided by capital. So when you differentiate this one, so you will get what? You are getting VCM equals to what? Summation of K equals to 1 to N is Mn into Vn divided by what? A capital N. That we are getting it. This Vn is obtained by and what? dRn divided by dt. So that we are getting what? Vn is. So this is the what? The velocity of center of mass of that is what? System. Then once you get velocity of center of mass, then you can write this what? Acceleration. So we know that F external. So here itself you can put it what? Accelerations. When you again, if you differentiate this one, this is dVCM divided by dt. This one becomes what? dVn divided by dt. Then this becomes what? dVCM means ACM equals to, this is summation of K equals to what? Mn into, this is what it is, Mn into, this is what it is, An, that's divided by capital M. This ACM. This is dVCM divided by dt becomes what? ACM. ACM is equals to, this becomes what? Summation of F. You can Mn into it is what? M into A. This is Mn into An. That becomes what? F. Okay. So or you can put it in another way. So here this becomes F divided by capital N. Or we can write in another way. F external is equals to that d by dt by dt. This is d by dt of what? Summation of k equals to 1 to what? N pk. So here m pk equals to what? Mk into vk. So that's is equals to, you are having what? M into VCM. Capital M into what? You are having what is VCM. You can put it like this also. So that's why this F external is equals to d by dt of M into VCM. This F external is equals to, you write capital M into dVCM divided by what dt, where dVCM divided by again is what? Accelerations. So therefore I require what? ACM. This ACM is equals to F external divided by M. But here I have written what? Summation of k equals to 1 to n. And it depends on this one, it becomes what? F right is what? M. Again you are getting this one. Therefore the expression for what? The acceleration for your what? Center of mass of a system is given what? F external divided by is what? Capital M is. Okay. So these are the simple equations in your what? Law of conservation of what is a linear momentum. Okay. So in this chapter, so what we have discussed? So we have discussed what is the basic definition of your momentum, and it is what is the statement of law of conservation of linear momentum. How that linear momentum gets conserved in case of a system consisting of what? Two particles and n number of particles. And later we have discussed what is your center of mass. What is the expression for your what? The velocity of center of mass, and what is the acceleration of that center of mass of that system. So all those things we have discussed in this sessions. Okay. In the next sessions, we will discuss collision process, or we can discuss and what the distinction between your what? The laboratory frame and what? The center of mass. Thank you.